welcome everybody. Welcome all you Drangir and Shield Maidens to this week's edition of Dropping the Hammer. I'm your host, Warhammer. Man, I wanted to have a lot more energy for this podcast. I wanted to have some good news. I had a lot of things going on, and apparently a lot of them fell through. So we'll just kind of work through this one by one and kind of talk about the blows as they've come. So while I was recovering, the beard oil labels were supposed to be delivered. They never arrived. Apparently there was a problem in transportation and they were damaged. They had to be returned, and I've not heard any word of how much was damaged. We did kind of make out from that, but I was hoping to have labeled bottles by now. It's just setbacks. I talked about this last week because, I knew about it, but it's just a couple other things on top of that. I have no idea how much was damaged, what was damaged, how long it's going to take to replace. I'm hoping it was just kind of the outer packaging was damaged and it was properly sealed inside and everything was secured. Minimal damage, one thing, replacing one roll, two roll, that's one thing. But overall, I'm hoping for a solid, mostly solid shipment of labels. With that, a couple of t-shirts. The first set I was trying to have t-shirts made somewhere else, but those fell through. So this was a fortunate, accident, a happy accident, as a painter would say. So we're getting some shirts made, but I don't know how long we will continue with this. I don't want to say brand, but I don't know how many t-shirts we'll have for the beard oil. Excuse me, let me change that. The beard care line. So on top of just some problems, I'm gonna have to find a new studio. Yeah, I'm in my bedroom, but I'm gonna have to find a new bedroom, a new place to run Dropping the Hammer. On top of that, I found out that part of my computer is not part of my computer. So it's just a lot of things are kind of, I don't want to say failing all at once. A lot of the fires are getting turned off all at once. I will say that. I had a lot of irons in the fire. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but man, that's struggled for an hour sitting here, just to hit record. I know what I wanted to call it, but I didn't know how to really progress into it, how to further this. Like I've said many times, I originally started this as a form of therapy, um, video blogging, just to talk about my matches. A lot of this was for my daughter, um, something she could watch back and see, look, daddy was a wrestler and stuff like that. So, you know, I've I understand visions changing. It just sucks to, you know, like I told somebody, I described it to somebody. I spend my time trying to avoid certain limelights, but when the vision gets changed and you are now directly in the way, that sucks. I'm now in the way of some people's future. So I was the most out of the way. Now I'm the most in the way due to vision change. And it happens. Everybody changes, but man, does it suck. I'm certainly not upset, I, I still don't believe my blood pressure being a bad thing right now. It is what it is. Most of the lumps I've taken in stride. I know it's harder. It's harder now. It's harder to rebuild from these falls. And it's almost like this year was trying to take me out. Still here, still kicking, but at a certain point, I'm just tired. I thought I was fixing what was wrong with me, and apparently we caused something else, or maybe, I don't know. I've got a doctor's appointment in the morning, so we find everything out. I will say this, the first time in at least 2 months, I've not spit up any blood clots. I've not spit up any blood at all. Not from my mouth. It's my sinus. I've not had any blood clots in the toilet paper when I blow my nose. I've been lightly blowing my nose. I still have pressure in the ears, but none of it has been pink. None of it has been old clots. None of it has been old anything. So I think I've purged myself of all of that, but fingers crossed I didn't open up something. We were joking, everything was routed one direction. Once we rerouted things, everything kind of went, oh, we can go this way now, and then there was no brakes. So I don't know. Like I said, the doctor appointment in the morning, and we go from there. I haven't worked in several weeks. I can't say several weeks, 2 weeks. I mean, it's the 7th now. It was the 22nd then, so however many weeks. But it's I mean, the first week and a half wasn't a vacation. It was a struggle to maintain living. Now it's just getting old. I need to get back to work. I want to get back to work. Um, I don't know. It's like, hmm, well, it's when I work, I feel the most useful. So I have to keep working. I don't want to say to maintain my usefulness, but that is something we'll have to dwell on, think about. I mean, why? Why do I feel that? I mean, I've been working since I was 16. Usually always had a job in one fashion or another. Always, always, always working, doing something. It's it's definitely something we're going to think about. We're going to talk about again. So that's to me, that's the deep water. Why do I feel like I have to work? I can't slow down. Even on vacation, after about 3 days, I'm ready to get back to work. Sorry about the microphone moving. I wanted to show off for a minute, kind of change the tone. So, one of the things that did come out, I've got a couple beard oil displays. So, these are awesome. I'm getting a couple more made. I've got to send these off. And I've also got, I'm going to keep one, I'm going to keep a couple. So Iron Belly needs one, but we've got excuse me, 4 or 5 barber shops up in New York where we got our labels printed. They're going to kind of have a little spot for our beard oil display and stuff like that. So I've got to get them set up with one. On top of the displays that did come in, to continue the beard care. Now, balms and butters are something we've talked about. I don't use either one of these. I may start using butter. That's more of just the it's not so much of a hold, but it's another long-lasting moisturizer. It will help with the flyaways and kind of keep this more manageable and maintained and almost a groomed look the entire time. It's just not something I didn't want to put money into it and then not like the product. So I've not ever used it, but we will be going into balms and butters, along with we are going to try a styling wax. Now, not sure when these will be dropped. We are talking about these now. We're discussing these now. The last one is we're also talking about a scent for the summer. This may all come very rapidly all at the same time, and that's the way it's slated. But we're I'm always a little more pessimistic. That's the plan, but let's see what really happens, and we go from there. And that's kind of where I was at with the labels at this point. You know, let's just you know I'm super excited to have these labels, but we don't have them yet. So once we get them, that's going to be great. Um, in going with the balms, butters, and styling wax, now we have to get more labels. So um, we need to we need to make our money back on the first set of labels before we can push those other labels. I will say I think we chose solid tens. Um, Great color, great size. I think that's going to go along with our color scheme. It's going to go with our plan. And I've said this. This is we're winging the oils. We're winging the body butter or the beard butters and the balms and all that stuff. We've never done this before, and trying it out. He's got a little more uh, of a chance to make his money back. He does art shows and things, excuse me, things like that for his jewelry and other things he makes. I think Sarah makes some stuff, or she does other things, but they go to shows to sell their wares. So he's got a good chance to push this. That's why we need a display. We need certain things to just help. But several people are asking about new scents. Several people are asking about either the balms or the butters. I certainly don't use a styling wax. You can see it's just brushed, but that's all I got. I can't, it's hard to do it in camera because it's reversed or whatnot, and it's just weird. I'm looking at the screen doing it. It's awkward, so I apologize. I don't use the styling wax. I know it's what I told him. I know a lot of these are the same, not the same products, but they use the same ingredients. So if we're using the same ingredients, we might as well. Um, and the fact that we can make them all smell just like our scents, and our scents are huge. So I don't know how many scents we're gonna do. We've got three. We're working on our fourth one, and we're working on a feminine. So that's three, four, five. You know, that's a lot. The sky's the limit, really. It's ideas. We're trying to get ideas. So, if you've got an idea for a scent, message me. You don't have to post it on there so everybody sees it if you don't want to. Um, we can talk about scent profiles. I'm interested in using my new nose more now. So I've got some ideas. I need to tweak them. I need to try them, experiment. The Raiders camp, that was essentially created by me, but he's the one that Iron Belly's the one that made it an actual thing. I designed it. Excuse me. I designed it. He created it. That's, to me, I am so happy with that scent. I don't remember. I don't think I had much input on the next, or I did the mead hall. That one, I didn't know what vetiver or bergamot smelled like, but that's what I was told was a winning scent. We added the honey to make it our own, but to me, oh, that's exactly what you would smell in a mead hall. It's you know Raiders camp. You would smell all these things while walking around mead hall. As soon as you walk in, you smell it. The winter hunt, it smells. I keep saying Christmas because of the cinnamon, but it's winter. That's all I can think of, and that's why I can't wear it any other time. It's I don't want to say it's too strong, but it is too. I mean, it reminds me of too much of Christmas. It's too much of a um, sort of nostalgic, sort of a not a retro, but it's a homey scent. It takes you to a place. It transports you to somewhere during Christmas time. That's the best way to describe the last one. I know the long ship. Hopefully, that smells light, airy. Definitely woody, but it needs to almost need to forget it's there until you catch a whiff of it, and then it's oh yeah, that is I do smell such and such. It's going to be oak, linen, and sea spray. So hopefully you can smell a little saltiness, you know, woody and clean. That's my hope. But Belly's knocked all three of these scents out of the park, so I have no doubt the fourth one is going to go well. Um, it's some things are hitting, some things are missing, and it. I do know I've been coming up with a lot of misses all at once. So it's it's tough. I'm trying to keep my chin up. Even tonight, I was hoping to do something even fancier with the podcast and post a flyer, but I won't be able to do that with this one function. I'm using StreamYard. I would have to pull whatever video from StreamYard, take it over into Filmora just to add the one shot at the end. And I'm, I'm too beat down to really do that right now. Last time I tried Filmora, I had to pay for it and it locked my bank account, and I haven't used it since. And all this, like it just doing a promo video became a complicated endeavor, and it ended up resetting a bank account. So, like, I've not been wanting to use that. I would love to step up the quality of this. I don't know how. I don't have it in me, and I don't have the money to pay for a lot of these upgrades that would allow me to do more stuff. So, what I wanted to talk about was this Saturday, I will be attending Joint Forces Rumble in. See, I even had all this set up. It was. It's right. No, I guess I don't have it. Give me a second. I know I just downloaded it. There it is. Rumble in Titletown. Excuse me. Rumble in Titletown. I'll be posting this flyer. I know I can't, if you can't see it, I can't, you know. Wait a second. I know what I can do. I'm not going to do that. I'll be posting the flyer, but it's Rumble in Titletown, and it is in Carthage, Texas, at the Carthage Civic Center, 1702 South Adams Street, June 13th. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time is 7 p.m. So I will be there in all my Viking glory. Iron Belly will not be attending. Neither will Viking Queen, but I've got the opportunity to participate, and I can't wait. Very big on supporting veterans and military and things like that. So anything I can do to help out with this endeavor, I'm glad I can help out with. So I'm gonna wait to talk about next week's show. I'm gonna give Joint Forces a little more time to marinate. Like I said, I've got to post a flyer and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do all that. It almost feels like building on quicksand, and I, for one, thought quicksand was going to be a lot more prevalent in my life, in all the movies and things like that impacted me as a child. There's always quicksand. I always worry about quicksand. So, it feels like we built a little bit on quicksand on the beach, and it's all washed away. But we're still here. We're still striving. We're still moving forward, and looking forward to having all this behind us. So, thank you for tuning in this week. I know it was kind of a bummer, but I'm still here even after that massive nosebleed and whatnot. So, doctor appointment tomorrow. I'll try to wrestle this weekend, and we'll go from there. That's really all my goal is to see how I feel, react, respond after my match on Saturday. So tune in on Sunday. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the good bads. We may have a video for it. I don't know. See what we got. Also, Wednesday, there will be a meet and greet in Carthage at the Walmart. I'm not sure the address. I'm not from there, but there's not too many Walmarts in many towns. So Walmart in Carthage meet and greet on Wednesday, 10 to 2, I believe. So I'll be there. I know one other wrestler will be there. So well, get some information, and get hyped up for Joint Forces this Saturday. So tune in next week, and we'll talk more then. Good night, everybody.